And I have at my side right here, rolling with me, publisher Munson Steed, Romeo International, Cast in the City, and Keisha Green, the superstar of superstars. Let us get this started right now. Let's go.
Good morning, everybody.
The sun is shining, nice and bright. The birds are chirping,
and I'm ready to fly.
Time to get ready
for another day.
No one can stop us. Oh, we gon' learn to play.
Oh, every day
we learn and play.
we do our best, so we'll be great.
You do your best,
and I don't mind.
So let's get ready.
Cause it's about that time.
Good morning, you. Good morning, how do you do? Good morning, time to be great. Good morning, time to wake. Good morning,
Your best and play.
good morning,
Don't stop today.
good morning, open your eyes. Good morning,
Reach for the sky.
morning to you. Good morning, how do you do? Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Morning, how do you do?
Good morning.
You see me on my grind,
Woo. Stars got to shine.
I'm a supernova.
Yeah, you see me taking over. Yeah,
I'm on the move, I got a way to shine to it. So let me hear you say, every day we gon' learn and play.
Hey, yay. We're gonna learn and play. It's rolling out AM. What you got inside you. So move your body every day. Clap and act like you want to say good morning to everyone you see. This is the place to be. Rolling out AM, you guys. What's going on? How you feel?
You better drop those.
What up?
Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. It is such a beautiful day. You know, I love the way that we are seeing our Congressman John Lewis, civil rights, just passing through from the Capitol to Edmund Pettus Bridge, just at least saluting him in a grand fashion. So really a moving moment if you just got to catch some of that. But if you haven't, just pause to give thanks to those who definitely battled so we can at least have round 2 of the uprising. So
No, it's definitely warranted. I ceremoniously bow before him, and also because of the fact that he's getting the type of send-off and processional that I remember reading in history books and seeing on documentaries about Martin Luther King and Robert Kennedy. They both were strewn across from city to city before their final resting place. So it's good to see because he belongs in the pantheon of civil rights greats. Just not civil rights greats, American greats. He's an American hero.
International hero. And you're right, Terry, but I promise you, I think the community is just happy to be able to go out and say goodbye to at least somebody they love. I mean, we've seen so many Little Richard that we just could not say goodbye. And from people who've had family members and just not been able to give the homecoming that we expect. So, shout out to the ability for us to at least do that. So I think that's a beautiful, beautiful thing, and just for the community to be able to celebrate our elders and celebrate, this dynamic young person. Keisha!
Good morning, Munson.
Good morning to you. What is going on? Live your dreams. Give me something to dream about, Keisha.
We gotta definitely keep encouraged and keep on going and just truly be willing to live out something new and birth new things, with seeing John Lewis pass, but being able to see him being recognized and honored the way that he has, just let you know that it's truly the way that people see you once you're gone as well, that truly speaks for your legacy, what they say after you aren't here anymore. So be encouraged to do something great that people are going to talk about when you are no longer around, because that's what's most important. That's the true legacy.
Yeah, and I thought that it was good that he got his flowers before he passed away. Yeah. Just 5 years ago, during the 50th anniversary of Selma, President Barack Obama in half the country, it seemed like, across the bridge in Selma, Alabama. I remember I almost got a case of claustrophobia. There were so many people that tried to cross that bridge together at the same time. The Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama. So I was glad to see that he was honored and given his flowers and given his commemoration before, because we often wait until after someone passes. It was good to see that he got his while he was still alive.
All
Yeah,
right.
that was a powerful moment.
Yeah, very powerful. You're right, Cass. Let's go into your report. We do want to ask, it's a special section. So why don't you pull up that first one just for trash or treasure? But go ahead, Cass. Enjoy yours.
Alrighty, we're gonna definitely get into trash or treasure, but we're gonna start off some big news. P-Valley has been renewed for season 2 on Stars. This is a huge deal. We previously had one of the actresses on here, Brandy Evans, but they literally are just in season 1. So 3 episodes in to be renewed for a second season is amazing. They've broken records on Stars with this show. This is Katori Hall. Yes, it broke records for the premiere. And it's broken records on Rotten Tomatoes, which is notorious for giving poor reviews. They have 100% rating. So they're doing huge things. So shout out to P-Valley.
Yes. Hey, is that the same situation as OPP?
As what, Terry?
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. Please continue.
Terry, don't start.
But up next, we have some more, news in sports. Kyrie Irving has decided that he is going to dedicate $150 million to WNBA players who decide not to play this season. He was speaking out a lot early, because of coronavirus, about not wanting to play. So now he's offering it up for the WNBA players, who decide to forfeit their season. So this will be interesting to see who takes this this offer from him. Up next, we have some Megan Thee Stallion news. I know we're going to talk about this a little later, but Megan Thee Stallion is speaking out, about her incident of being shot, how traumatizing it was on social media. And 50 Cent, actually, who is known for trolling, known for his internet antics, has apologized to Megan Thee Stallion because he was making fun of her situation and her being shot. So he said, "I didn't think this was real. It sounded so crazy. I'm glad you're feeling better, and I hope you accept my apology." So this is a big deal for 50 Cent because he does not apologize. So, shout out to that growth. And we definitely want to keep Megan in our prayers because it's no joke being shot. So we don't want to make her feel like this is something to play about. Up next, we have some birthdays. Hold on, Romeo. We'll get to some commentary after, but I want to get into these birthdays. Soulja Boy is 29 years old today. Actor John David Washington is 35 years old, and boxer Adrian Bronner is 31 years old today. Shout out to them and everyone else celebrating today. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. We're going to give him the birthday song?
Yeah, ain't that when the birthday song supposed to drop?
Oh, I thought we was about to woo. Soulja Boy did it. Oh.
We got balloons, yeah. The cake is on the way. We got the music playing, cause it's your holiday. We invited family, and everybody came. I strike a pose for me like you in a picture frame. You got your finest clothes on, and $1 million smile. So we gon' celebrate you for a while. Yeah. And don't forget we got the candles when you away. Then don't forget we got the candles. Happy birthday, gonna celebrate you for a while. Candles, blowing you away. Wait. Candles. Happy birthday, happy girl.
So if you get your hands up in the air, clap out loud.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, everybody. We're just happy that you guys are here. Thanks for joining us here, all you on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and the new channel is coming soon, rolling out. So what's going on? Who's up next?
I wanted to shout out everybody on Facebook and ask Cass a question before I love that polite slide, Cass. That was cool.
That
Shirley
was
Robert, Shirley Carter, Robert Shropshire, Melinda Johnson checking in from Tennessee, Shirley Jones from Albany, Georgia.
Hey, Melinda.
Hey,
Robert Shropshire, my cousin. What's up, man? Way to come through. Way to come through.
Georgia.
Joe Jr., Sharon Cook, and Regina Carr. I got a question for Kaz though. You said Miss Light Bright. You said that Kyrie Irving offered how much money?
150 million.
150 million.
So you telling me Kyrie got enough money to pay the entire league of women's basketball? Is that what you're telling me right now?
I mean, I don't think he's going to pay the entire league. No way. Okay, it's 1.5.
But he can really hold on, Cass. He can really be talking about pay disparity.
1.5 million.
No. He basically he's only willing to subsidize the lifestyle of the people who do not choose to play.
Do not want
the
to
whole
play,
league.
Which is going to be a very small percentage
yes,
of people
very
who
small
decide
percentage.
not to play because they don't want to forfeit that money. So this is just, a part of his, continuation of like, we don't want to play at this time. Him talking about starting his own league is just like a continuation of his, thoughts. But I think very few people will take this. I'm not sure how much WNBA players make, but
there you go.
He's just offering this, saying, "Hey, if this is something you decide to do, this is the option." Go ahead, Keisha.
But he's saying that if you don't go to work, you still gonna get paid.
Yeah, he's saying that this is what he's doing for the WNBA players. Like, this is his way of supporting them in this moment if they choose not to play at all.
If they choose not to play, they might not play forever.
Yeah, it's a huge risk, so that's why I guess that's what I'm saying. A very small percentage.
You catch COVID, probably. You cannot play forever.
True that. True.
Yeah, I think the other thing is just to continue to bring attention to pay disparities for women. You're in a league and you're there, and sometimes just the inequity that we find for both women and their lack of getting equal pay to men for doing the same job is a problem. And I think that's the other thing to focus on. The fact that we want to bring, not just in basketball, but we want to make sure that part of this movement isn't just about Black Lives Matter. It's our entire Black life.
And it's also, this whole situation also kind of like substantiate what Dr. Anthony Fauci has said for many months, that he does not believe that any major professional sport is going to be able to finish this year because of the coronavirus. And look what happened yesterday with the Major League Baseball. 13 players from one team contracted the coronavirus, and they're delaying all games for today. And then so many people have also contracted it in the NBA and the NFL. So, Dr. Fauci is proven to be, given quite the premonition in regards to the finishing of the show.
But that's because they started covering it up.
Go ahead, Keisha. What were you saying?
They started covering it up, and that's why it's spreading in the leagues.
Right. And just like a note, I didn't drop this in my report, but kind of an update on coronavirus. Phase 3 of their coronavirus vaccine has actually been started, and it started in Savannah, Georgia, just yesterday, I believe. So this is a big step. This is really fast in the world of vaccinations. So they're going to be testing, trying it on 30,000 people and seeing how it goes. So this is this is definitely interesting, and we'll just have to follow this now.
Yeah, and it's unprecedented.
Keisha's report now and see what Keisha has for us all. Rolling out AM.
You see what she did?
It is Keisha Green.
So we are getting ready to roll into my report this morning. Oh my goodness. So number 45, Terry, your president, he said it's so disgusting to watch Twitter, so-called trending, where so many trends are about me and never a good one. They look for anything they can find to make it as bad as possible, blow it up, and trying to make it trend. Really ridiculous, illegal, and of course unfair.
Oh.
This is someone's president
Will you stop picking on Donald? Will you stop that?
He is the master of horrible tweets. Literally, Twitter has his tweets on filter. And he wants to talk about what's not nice and what's unfair. And he said it's illegal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, some people have mastered the art of victimization. And, they basically terrorize the entire country or people around them or people that orbit their world. And then when there's pushback, they want to take the victim's role. We all know people like this in our lives who always start something. And as soon, or when you hit back at the bully, now they want to be a victim. What? You want to be a victim? And then you're going to lie and say that it's illegal. No, that's the First Amendment, the U.S. Constitution that I and many other people fought for. So quit it.
Well, I don't think he cares anything about the things that we fought for. Come on, Terry. All he cares about is making sure he's not trending for bad things on Twitter.
Well, since you said he was my president, then I'm just letting y'all know that he's a little sensitive. Y'all need to stop picking on him.
He is your president. Normally say he's my president. I served.
I think he's right. I think he's right. I think that it is unfair for y'all to burden this man who is the president of the United States, who took on the responsibility of protecting this country, for y'all to think that he's supposed to do that. How unfair is that? How unfair for y'all to think that this man is supposed to adhere to our rights. He has rights too, okay?
Oh, please.
Thank you, Cass. Thank you.
If we can smell that room has to be stinking right now. All that stuff.
This type of pressure, what happens? Does he tan a little more? Does he get a new wig? What actually?
How'd you feel about Oprah magazine closing after 20 years, Keisha and Cass?
Oh, that doesn't feel good at all.
I can't believe that. I mean, it's not end of 2 decades. I mean,
no. It's not the magazine per se. It's just the physical
print,
portion of it.
Right?
Yes, in the print version. It's still going to be online, as you know, because
I literally did put those questions to the two ladies to discuss intention.
Oh, okay. Go. Please.
You know, we weren't really thinking I was going to let them share about that. There was going to be online. I know Cassidy knows these things, but I shared it with them. It's okay.
Please, Keisha, please continue.
Well, we definitely don't want to say things that are geared towards the women and especially the Black women to die down or stop being, especially having those prints too. Online is cool, but there's a big difference, you know, being able to have. I've been, previewed or in a lot of magazines, and they never send me magazines. It's like online prints. I don't think it feels the same as like going to the grocery store and like seeing a magazine. What you think, Kat?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I remember having tons of Oprah magazines in my house growing up, so it definitely is, you know, the end of an era, and it definitely will be missed. But we are excited they're still going to be producing content. You'll just have to go online to see it. So
it's like those magazines that we grew up with. Like those were magazines that you were used to seeing.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, all right, come on, Terry. Come on, Munson. Get Terry say something.
No, he can always say something. I just want us all to show love to the ladies that are here and definitely let them cover it. I think you guys definitely have read more old magazines than myself. I can only speak for me. But I wonder, let's go to the segment here, Rolling Out AM. We want to know from all of you online the segment called Trash or Treasure. Who is who and which is which? So if you didn't see it and you didn't hear it, of course, the backlash continues, as you can read at the bottom of that. But we really want to talk about the fact that all of a sudden, Miss Representative Cortez and Yo Ho, come on, Yo Ho, what a name. Yo Ho. Yo Ho, what a name. Trash or treasure? Who's the treasure and who's the trash in that relationship? Who should we trash and who should we treasure? Cass?
We need to trash him because he verbally abused her. Called her out of her name, which is inappropriate in any context. And he's actually received a lot of backlash from it. He had to resign from one of his boards. So yeah, this is, you can't make sexist comments, you can't make racist comments. Time is up for that. So you can't call people out of their names. Inappropriate.
Yeah, and he
So
refused to
you have to face
apologize.
the consequences.
Yeah, he can go in the dunk.
Definitely.
Well,
And I love Alexandria. Okay, I think it's Ocasio-Cortez. I know she goes by AOC for short, but obviously she was a part of a lot of the, minority women who were, elected as congresswomen. So this is huge. I love what she does for, minority women and speaking up and, standing up for our rights. So definitely not going to stand for her being disrespected.
Well, we should treasure her. And so out of the trash and treasure, we're trashing Yahoo, and we're going to treasure Representative Cortez for all that she does for those who don't have a voice, didn't have a voice before she got to Congress, but now has a voice. So we want to continue to ask you, who do you think we should trash online? And get you introduced to our new segment, Trash or Treasure. Every day we'll come up with someone, two people in their circumstances, and figure out, should one go to the trash and one has done something for us to treasure forever. So I want to just thank you guys for hanging in there with us today on Trash and Treasure. Rolling out AM, the wake up call. Your thoughts, Romeo?
It's a fine line to dance on, right? So anybody in you said his name was That Ho? Oh, my fault. Yeah, sorry. My fault. I said it wrong. I think anybody in that webcast, I think anybody in that position, and I want y'all to really think about this. Anybody in that position who's comfortable with saying it in that position, he it ain't the first time. And then on second, and he said it comfortably enough to know that somebody's backing him. That's the only thing that scares me with people like that. People who feel that comfortable in that position to say it on that platform, they have people behind them that are patting them on the back. The question is, who's patting him on the back?
Right.
That's the question.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't be the first time, but
right.
Yeah, people
not
will,
acceptable.
Yeah, people will employ any means by which to maintain the status quo. And if they have to resort to calling people out their names, that's exactly what they're going to do. And they're going to justify it, which he did. And they're going to do everything but apologize, which he also did not do. So he tried not to apologize, but I mean, that's just this is a slap on the wrist, taking him down for one of his committees. I mean, he probably didn't do anything on it anyway. Because we never even heard of this dude. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
No, absolutely right.
No, but I think it's interesting that the two horrible names, both of them in the trash, is Cotton and Yoho.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, God, come on, man. We filled the trash yesterday with Cotton. Necessary slavery and necessary evil. That wasn't even appropriate. And just for you to think that something is necessary and evil and that they go together in the same sentence, clearly you weren't thinking. And I'm with Romeo. I think the other thing that really makes you nervous is kind of like actors. You've repeated that line somewhere. Somebody helped you with your lines. Somebody was in the room. You're practicing your lines. Somebody was in the room. So you really were repeating lines that you and who else has said those lines. So, you practice these lines, you practice that attitude. Cotton has practiced, as we trashed him yesterday, and literally he was practicing, and he has practiced with friends. Well, it was a necessary evil. That must sound like some country club talk that you had.
But that's exactly what it is. That's what Congress is. The House of Representatives and the Senate is a men's country club, and it's 95% male. And that's why I'm loving this the onset of this paradigm shift that's happening in America, where a record number of Black women are running for Congress. And then the number one, right now, I saw reports that the number one prospect for to be the vice president is also a Black woman, Kamala Harris, the former Attorney General of California, who turned senator. And she is leading the pack, according to The Hill, a very respectable political publication. So we'll have to see how that turns out. So this is going to continue the onset of a revolution in Congress because of the, it's just a bastion of testosterone. That's what Congress is.
Yeah.
Man, let me ask y'all this. Muncie Steve, King James, Keisha Cass in the city. And don't get me wrong. Hey, Biden, let's go. Y'all really think he's gonna push that button though? I know he said it, right? Do you really think he's gonna push that button?
If he does,
That's gonna.
I don't think it's a question of if he's going to select a woman. I think he can take courage in that, Romeo. I think that's the whole idea is moving the agenda forward for generations. So it's important for America to move toward that point. I mean, come on, Britain beat us having a prime minister, and we're still waiting to have a female president. So we've got to take those steps. We really have to take those steps and give a light to the fact that we need women making some better decisions, literally. At any rate, you're watching Rolling Out AM. Please share our show. Put in the number 1. Please share our show right now. No matter what you do, like us, share us, call a friend and let them know you're watching Rolling Out the AM Wake Up Call. Our guest is here. So, Terry, take it away.
Yeah, speaking of we needing women in influential positions, women to continue to make their inroads into places where women are not necessarily known. We have a very prestigious guest this morning who I'm proud and happy to bring on. Her name is Tiffany Good. She's a female jazz trumpeter, a trumpet player. And you know what I'm saying? When you think about jazz, you think about, the first thing that comes to mind, of course, are, the Marsalis brothers and others, Duke Ellington, and just going on down the list. But you never think about a woman. Well, let's think about a woman today. Matter of fact, let's do one better. Let's talk to a woman today who is in jazz. Good morning, Tiffany.
Yes.
Good morning, Tiffany.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here.
Yes. Is it
excited.
possible for you to turn up your mic just a little bit for us? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm getting up there in age, so it's hard for me to hear these days. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm a little seasoned. You know what
They
I'm
have
saying?
devices for that, Terry. They do have devices for that. They have.
Is that better? Is that better?
Yes, that is. Absolutely. Yeah, so thank you. Welcome to the show. And why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the folks and tell them what you're doing, what's going on, because, I saw about you. I saw the videos, and I just wanted you to introduce yourself so everybody else knows what it is.
Oh, okay, absolutely. I'm Tiffany Good. I am a jazz trumpet player. I've been playing trumpet since I was in the 3rd grade, so, all my life.
Excuse me?
From 3rd grade.
Since the 3rd grade?
3rd grade, yes. 10 years old, I started.
Oh, I could barely walk it there in the 3rd grade, but girl, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, since I was 10 years old. Played all through college, went to Hampton University, the Hampton University.
HU.
And come on.
HBCU.
Yes, the most beautiful school to me. And majored in music, worked with Teddy Riley for a while, moved to Atlanta. And I've been doing between TV broadcast and music this whole time. Just released my debut album called Today Was a Good Day. It's done extremely well on Bandcamp, and it's on all platforms. And then I had the beautiful opportunity to portray Cynthia Robinson from Sly and the Family Stone on this season of American Soul on BET. So been keeping busy. And, it's been, Corona's been interesting, but have been finding a way to make a way through trying to use these devices and everything to, still play and, have a good time.
I see. Well, I'm loving that shirt, first of all. I'm loving the design on that shirt. You know what I'm saying? Way to represent. I like that photo to your left. Yeah, yes, exactly. But one of the things I found very interesting, and when Sheila E. came out, and she was one of the few female drummers, everybody went crazy, and you know what I'm saying. So I just want to take a time out to talk about what it's like to be, a trumpeter in a male-dominated profession, and why did you decide to pick up the trumpet, of all instruments? What was it about the trumpet that spoke to you?
Yeah. Okay. To be a female in a male-dominated instrument like the trumpet has been interesting. So, but I've been doing it since I was 10, so it's always been male dominated. So you get used to it pretty quick. You become that cool girl, right? The girl that's, can hang out with the guys, can chill and kick it and all of that kind of stuff because that's what you're trained to do. But you have to be very competitive, right? I am a competitive being. And so that worked in my favor. And so I, assimilated well, have a lot of great male friends, and I'm considered the cool, female chick, right? Um, and why I chose trumpet. I guess trumpet kind of chose me. It kind of went this way. I grew up in Richmond, Virginia, and so my dad, who uh, liked to frequent the what we call the liquor store or the liquor house down the street. The liquor house down the street, sometimes they had a little bartering going on. People, sell you some steaks, I mean, they might sell you some, instruments. They may, they playing some cards,
Yeah, we
So,
know about them. Every
okay,
all the black communities got one of them.
okay, just making sure. So, Dad came home one day with this trumpet. It was a beat up old trumpet and it had a cornet mouthpiece. It was all frozen up. It was a horrible trumpet. He didn't know though. And so he came in the house and said, "Hey, who gonna play this trumpet?" And I was like, "I'm gonna do it, Daddy. I want to play the trumpet." And so my mom was like, "You take this trumpet, you're gonna play this trumpet forever." So that's how it started. So here I am, 10 years old, with this trumpet, no case. My mama puts it in a brown paper bag. She had talked to the principal and said, "Can she start a year early?" He said yes, because she was cute. And here I go, rolling the trumpet up in the bag, walking to school, my little 3 blocks. I know that my band director, Mr. Jackson, had to look at me like, whose child is this? And why did they send her here?
With a
Like
paper bag.
in the paper bag. You know what I'm saying? It was real, but that was how it started. And I played ever since. Yep.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Definitely.
I just wanted to, say I commend you. This is amazing, to see someone, who is a female trumpeter. It's amazing. My grandfather played the saxophone all of his life. So, jazz music is something that's very dear to my family. Um, how can we get more young people? We have such a rich history with jazz culture. How can we get more young people involved and interested in playing these instruments, and young girls interested in playing the trumpet, because you have an amazing career and you've been very successful, but we definitely want to see more young Black girls interested in this.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that I'm taking a big interest in. Even being able to play Cynthia Robinson and learning more about just the women who preceded me, who we don't really learn about as girls growing up. You train typically under men. And so the people who they give you to look at typically are men. So hold on a second. So what we typically do is, learn about, Freddie Hubbard, who's my favorite. Um, we learn about, of course, Miles Davis, who, one of my biggest idols, and Roy Hargrove, who passed, who I adore. But we learn about these people, but, we very seldom learn about the women. So one of the things I want to do is absolutely expose girls and kids in general to music, but girls specifically to brass instruments, because as a girl, even Cynthia Robinson talks about how she played the flute, and when she couldn't play the flute, somebody gave her a clarinet, and she was like, "I don't want to play this clarinet. I want to play a trumpet," and that's when she picked up the trumpet. But typically, we're given those the flute, the clarinet. I mean that this is what a girl plays.
Right.
And to break outside of that box, I think it's just exposure and having like maybe a program, which is what I'm trying to put together, a program called Brown Girl Buzz, where girls are being introduced to brass instruments. And I think for kids in general, it's just expanding their exposure to different kinds of music, is the thing. And so, turn off a little bit of the hip hop. Hey, we love it at all. I'm a lover of music, but exposing them to jazz, exposing them to the history of jazz, exposing them to the freedom of jazz, and that jazz is not, jazz has many different sections. There's traditional, but then what I do is not necessarily traditional. It's a fusion jazz, so it doesn't have to be you know, straight ahead jazz. It can be, you know, a mixture of jazz and trap music, you know, which I have a song that is a mixture of jazz and trap music. So
Oh,
it can be all of
well,
that.
well, oh, well, you know,
That's awesome.
you're going to have to drop us a few bars. You know what I'm saying?
No,
And let us know what you're talking about.
That would be
Before we
I
get
don't
to
know.
that,
Well,
Tiffany,
I definitely will play. I don't know if I'm gonna do the jazz trap song today.
oh,
'Cause
okay.
I don't have that one queued up, but I'll play something for you today.
Go ahead,
Absolutely.
Keisha.
That's awesome.
Tiffany, I think it's amazing that early on, first of all, I think it's amazing that your gift has a story behind it with your dad and the trumpet and everything. But it seems like something there was just like a part of your calling because even after you started, because when I was in school, I think I played the trumpet, the clarinet, and the flute. You know what I'm
Come
saying?
on, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
So something inside you was like, no, I love this one because I know when I tried the trumpet, it was hard to blow.
Yeah, yeah. You have to find what's right for you, right? What plays. I mean, I know a guy who too played multiple instruments, but trumpet was not his one. But he could play everything else under the sun. So yeah, I think it definitely is a calling for me. Like when I started playing, I was pretty good at it. And I'm a person who likes recognition. So once people were like, "Oh, you're pretty good at that," I was like, "Okay, I'll keep doing it." You know.
Well,
Only time I go ahead.
no, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The only time I almost stopped was in sixth grade, only because you get into that preteen area and you thinking it might not be cool. But my
Yeah.
mom was like, oh no, girl, remember I told you, if you
gonna
start
Play
playing it,
this.
you gonna play. And I was like, okay.
Shout out to
So,
mom.
speaking of playing, before we get to your question, Romeo, I would just like to have her drop a few bars on the audience and let us know what she's talking about because she's very talented. So if you could go ahead and play a little something for us right now.
Okay, I'm gonna play a little bit of the track along with it. Y'all cool with that?
Yeah.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Here, yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Tiffany. That was great. That was great.
Thank you.
And it's really wonderful to see that women are playing a more prominent role. Like I was talking about when I was a kid, there was only just one drummer that I had ever seen. Now, today, I'm seeing more women in roles that were traditionally occupied by men. So I'm glad to see that you are being one of the pioneers in jazz in the modern era, because that's just something that we just don't see very often, to be quite honest.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to let Romeo, he had a question. I wanted to get him into the fold. Romeo, what's your question, sir?
Yes, sir.
First of all, Tiffany, nobody told you to stop. You was messing up my vibe. I was there and you took my vibe away. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, because we got a lot of people checking in from Facebook. They say outstanding. Lisa Moses says very talented. Dee Turner says this is great for young people who love music. I got a question for you because you brought up something about school and music. Now,
yeah,
I remember high school. High school was, it wasn't that far away, but high school was literally band, chorus, and sports. Those three things ran the world, right?
right.
Now, but what I've noticed is that when it came to music in schools have been pulled back. Funding has been pulled back. People joining, being a part of it has been pulled back. I personally, and I think it's because of the teaching. You said that, yes, it's very important to learn the classics. I'm with that. And you said that you're very into, music and trap. But I've only seen one teacher, I think, merge like how Jay-Z uses jazz over his instrumentals or Nas. I've seen teachers use that. Do you think that music in schools should be updated to the point where it's more inclusive? Because those programs are being pulled away because kids are not participating. So
that's a good point.
You are a teacher and you are gorgeous and you are an innovative. So my question, a real question to you is music up to date? Is the music program up to date today in 2020?
So I think a couple of things about that. So I think you have to learn the basics, right? So I think you have to learn the beginning parts of band that, may not be so interesting or sexy, but you got to learn your instrument, you got to learn your fundamentals, you got to learn your skills, all that good stuff. But one of the things that I do too is I do an after school program where I teach beat making and production. And I think that's a key. I think that's one of the things that would draw kids in. It's not just how to play, but how do I create music for myself? And so I find kids really, really interested in, okay, you got I have an MPC. So there's like, okay, you have an MPC. So let me figure out how to make these beats. Let me figure out how I can put my instrument now over this, how I can rap over it, and then you can start to really feel the synergy between, instrumental or jazz or classic or whatever you like, and updated forms of music, especially once you add the beat machine, you can get the, 808 popping and you got that, boom going. So you get that
right.
real, trap music thing going. Kids love that. So I think it should be hand in hand a little bit. Like, you got to intro it and you got to learn your beginning parts of your music, but then, quickly starting to show them what they can do with it. I think we have gone beyond like a traditional place where, you played for 18 years, just straight traditional music. I think that's one of the reasons when I went to Hampton, my major was audio engineering. That's how I ended up working with Teddy, because I wanted to do more than just play, but I did want to play too. Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. Well, thank you, Tiffany Good, for blessing us this morning with your presence and playing, and drop some bars for us. That was very, what is, you have a new project coming out and new album, and also you playing, around the city on a regular basis. Well, you were before the COVID. And so talk about some of the places that you play, your album, and let folks know where they can reach you.
Okay, let's start with the album. The album is Today Was a Good Day. It's anywhere albums are sold, anywhere you can stream an album, you can find it. It's out now. Right now, of course, we're not playing anywhere. I'm also in an all-female reggae band called Soul Rising Band. And so hopefully we'll be doing something really soon coming forward. I can't talk about it just yet, but
that's what's up.
Stay tuned though. You can come to my website, which is Good Stuff, GOODE, my last name, stuff.net, to find out all the updates and also to get links to everything that I'm doing. Yep.
That's what's up.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Well, yes. Well, thank you very much for playing for us, for visiting with us, for inspiring us, for dropping some wisdom on us. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And we're gonna have to bring you back when the album, when we're back into the fold. COVID is over, which might be in 2021, by the way. Yeah, we definitely gonna have to stop by and check you out. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me so much. It's been
thank you. Blessings to you.
Yeah.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
tell you something, man. King James, when I was in the band, right, and they gave me my first triangle, I was like, I gotta learn this and gotta hold it, cause you gotta hold it at an angle with your wrist. Yup, cause you gotta bend your wrist. People didn't know that, Cassidy, that you had to bend your wrist. So just to hit that right angle, I was great. I was really great.
Oh, okay.
Amazing.
Keisha, you said you played instruments in school too, huh?
I played instruments in school, but I never stuck with any of them, especially not that
Me neither.
it's hard to blow. But they
Yeah.
need to give tips on Queen Sugar, because I was automatically on the TV show. I was like, yeah, Queen Sugar, come on.
That's what's up. Speaking of you, Keisha, I believe that you have to finish out your report. What else you got on
Let's
the
get back to my report so that we can talk about Tamar and her boyfriend.
Okay.
And let's see, do we have it here? Let's talk about Tamar and her boyfriend. Allegedly, Tamar's boyfriend is very controlling, says the sources, and he wanted her reality show to be more about him. Now he wants to be axed from the show because the way that he's portrayed. And when I seen this, the only thing I could think of, because as women, no matter how major we are, no matter how big we are, when those emotions start going over reality, immediately I had to say, questioning myself, did this have something to do with what took place with her the other week, with all the mental health issues going on? She was saying some things about being treated unfair from WeTV, not treating her and her sisters the same as they do the Kardashians, but, having that pressure of her boyfriend saying, hey, this, I want this to be more about me, or I'm not cool with the show anymore, or saying, hey, I don't want to do the show anymore. And she's already saying, hey, we're not being paid enough money or what have you. So I just wonder if the pressures of her relationship and him being unhappy played a major role in what took place with her last week. Romeo, why are you making those faces?
Yeah, man.
If you don't shut your side dude ass up, man, and just smile for the camera, nobody here to see this. Nobody's coming to the Braxton show to see the side dude. What are you talking about?
Listen,
the Braxton.
But obviously he's not the side dude, because he's playing a major part in the decisions that she's making, and obviously she must be under some pressure.
Yeah, this
no telling. I mean, I'm just gonna keep praying for her, because everything. It is a lot of pressure to be in the industry, and you never know what goes on behind closed doors. So
yeah, this is not this
cameras, public relationship. You know what I'm saying? And then she got money, so her relationship's got to be perfect. Romeo, she can't have no man driving. She got too much money to be letting a man drive her crazy. She could get another man. She could buy another one.
And when you're famous, you never know people's intentions.
That's what I'm saying. This the optics are bad. The optics are bad here, because this makes him look like a clout chaser, and that he's trying to wife her up so that he could be more famous and promote his own business. So he looks like what Kanye used to talk about when Kanye was saying, when he said gold digger, you know what I'm saying? I don't, you know what I'm saying? So this ain't a good look for him at all.
Hey Keisha, we should write a show, me and you, called Side Dudes, and get every side dude from every show, Love and Hip Hop, they show, and put them all in a bubble so they can feel special.
Yeah, and it's gonna get real good.
And I pray for her, because I don't want her to end up like Mary J. Blige and Jill Scott. Now, those were clout chasing gold diggers who got over. They sitting pretty right now, and they doing nothing. So yeah, you're right. I pray for Tamar Braxton. Yes, Cassie, I do, because I don't want her to end up, because I don't know if she has the mental fortitude to withstand what Mary J. and Jill Scott went through, and others.
Who? Jill Scott? Who messed with Jill Scott?
She used to be married, and the guy, they divorced, and she had to pay out millions of dollars to him. Mary J. had to kick out. Mary J. had to kick out a lot of money to her ex-husband, and after he got caught, spending her money, it was a mess for both of them. So yeah, I pray for Tamar Braxton. I hope that this relationship is legitimate, but I pray for her for whatever it is that she has going on with David. That's his name.
Speaking of the pressures of men on women and all of those things that's going on, let's just get back to, let's talk about Meek Mill separating from Milano after they just had this baby. They were hiding their relationship for so long.
Yeah.
But not only that, I just think that he came back and threw some shade on top of it later. So he goes, me and Milano have decided that we're going to separate and raise our baby, and we just have come to an understanding. No bad feelings, mad love, right? But then he comes back later on that evening and he goes, I made a lot of paper last year. Everything got different with a lot of people I helped. So I gotta reevaluate myself. It'll happen to anybody who has success and power. So, he said, and I gotta move forward. I just feel like he needs to have a phone call from his big brother, Jay. Jay needs to call his little man, his son, Meek, and let him know the code of the privacy of the family. Because all you're going to do is have people like Uncle 50 and your baby mother DM,
Uncle 50.
But I feel like this is a situation where they've been friends for a very long time. They're both from Philly. And, they've been supporting each other's brands. She's a designer. Milano DeRouge is her brand, and it's really popular. So she's doing pretty good. So I feel like this is a case of being friends, and you're like, okay, let's try out this relationship thing and see if it works. And I don't know if it worked. Well, I mean, obviously, but like you said, it goes back to the pressure of the industry. He's in the limelight.
Didn't work. Like they said, he was faster to put out there that they are no longer together than he was to put out that they was together.
No, facts. And no. But I think a part of that is the industry thing. Like, you don't want too many people in your business. So they were real low key at first. And now they're like, I feel like we got to put something out, because if we're seen out somewhere, the blogs are going to eat it up and say we're cheating.
Well, that's
so
what
I feel like that's the only reason why they did it. But she also, said, I don't usually talk about my stuff on social, but she wanted to put it out too. So I just think it's one of those cases where it's like they tried, to, move their friendship along. And then it just ended up with, they had a baby.
You can't say that. You know what that was. That was one of those moves where it was like, listen, I'm moving on with my new, you know what I'm saying? So when you see us in the streets, just already know what it is. I'm on a new move.
So you think he's moving on, like he just, I don't know.
Because here's the thing though, and I get it, I do the Romeo thing, but what I don't respect, you devalue that gorgeous woman. 3 months ago, I'm in love, this is great, I'm about to have a baby. Boom.
Yeah.
I have a baby, we together, we gonna work. Boom. She ain't said jack. This you making public announcements. She ain't said nothing. Now all of a sudden, we ain't together, we ain't this, did it third. Don't do that to her. Don't take that beautiful woman. Don't put a baby into her life and put a family into her head and then turn around and say, you know what? I do agree with Keisha. I guarantee you 2 weeks from now, he gonna be out with another chick and his backup is gonna be, well, I told y'all that we wasn't together. I'll take that bet.
And it's a bad. No, I'm sorry. It's a bad.
For a green light pass to be able to do whatever it is that he's already doing without making it look like, hey, I'm out here cheating on my brand new baby mother. He like, no, I need the world to know I'm not with you. So when I'm doing me, you know what I'm saying, I can do me freely. And I just think that's really wrong because she is a beautiful black queen, and a lot of people are just like, Meek, you're crazy. You're supposed to wife her. I've heard some people say, there was some comments there. They was like, hey, Meek, stop smoking the weed. We miss the healthy Meek. Like, you're not thinking properly what's going on.
Yeah.
So, we just really want to keep them uplifted too, though. But this is all allegedly, if they're meant to be together, that's going to happen. But like Romeo said, we already know he about to have somebody on a private jet and shaking.
Well, two things. Number one, this is a bad look because he also, has something to say about Nicki Minaj, when she was about to get her, do her thing, and he threw some shade at her. And then when you do something so sloppily in the public, it kind of contaminates your brand when you're trying to talk about, social uplift. Because we were behind Meek when he was in prison. We were behind Meek when he was talking about social justice reform. And when you do something like this, so crazy out in the public, it kind of takes away from your message. It devalues your message. It contaminates it. And just
I believe. No, Terry,
right.
I believed him. I thought he was the new Meek. I thought we was about to be marching together.
Meek is on some real grown man, was looking real good on him. The grown man swag, the grown man work, the things that he was doing, for the community and the people. But that what he just did right there just
I agree.
all the way.
I agree with the fact that I think she's always been more into him. I do.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It takes away from your message. And then we're not going to be so quick to get behind you if you get embroiled in another legal entanglement or
criminal justice reform. Come on.
Right. That's what I'm saying with criminal justice reform. Just like it hasn't destroyed T.I.'s message, but it kind of like impugns on it because of the fact that, you know what I'm saying, you out there speaking on our behalf, and then we have these situations that we keep seeing out in the public, and then you have the situation with the daughter. It's a diversion. It's an unnecessary diversion. And so I just think that he needs to go ahead and man up and go ahead and get his game together. Plus, she's an entrepreneur, so she ain't trying to get his ends. She got her own ends.
I mean,
she got her own stacks.
She's not. Yeah, no, definitely not. She's definitely very successful.
Not gonna let him bash her on the internet and take him back because it looks crazy against her brand as well. She has a brand. She stands for uplifting women and women not being treated wrong and them going for their dreams beyond what they've come from. So she also has a brand that she has to, stand behind her beliefs and the things that she has going on. We don't have it here. It's not in my report, but allegedly, you have Superset, the owner of Crancase, who her fiance, or we should say now her ex-fiance, he has been caught sending some texts and DM allegedly to an underage young lady. But again, for her, it's like really bad against her brand and what she stands for. And so
what's crazy?
We just want y'all to take into consideration when you're coming for these women that are on their grind and running their businesses, that you respect what they have going on. You respect their brands because, Meek, she's, you're gonna cash her out, but, she could feed her own baby.
I respect all of y'all. That's why I lay everything out on the table in the beginning.
Today, come on. Like today, you pro women, you pro everything. Today, you women's empowerment. All right, Romeo.
No, it just
Cassidy. Doggone it.
No.
But I before we move forward, I don't know whose report is next, but I was going to say one of the best examples is what Terry brought up in his report last week. Russell Wilson. He is the best example, fellas. That man, after Sierra left her significant other, that man said she good. You don't got to pay no other. You don't even got to pay your child support bill. She good.
And not only that, he refused to get involved in some type of entanglement over the airwaves with Future when Future was throwing shade. He just stepped up as an example. And that's what Meek Mill needs to do. He needs to comport himself like a man and man up and be a man and be a leader, or stop perpetrating that you're being a leader and stop getting people in. There you go. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm with you on that, Romeo.
Yeah, and I'm with you too, Harry.
Don't be mad when she get a Russell, because she deserves a Russell, honey. So you're gonna be sick. And yeah, let's just.
And you know what else, King James? I need women to start recognizing more good men who are doing what they're supposed to be doing in this world. That's what I need. Recognize Barack. Recognize Russell. You recognize King James, the other, no, my fault. He's the first King James, the second King James. Recognize the second King James and his family structure. I need women to respect men. Now, moving on to my thing before Cassidy let loose on me, we're going to start with
The main
black
person be talking
militia.
about black men don't cheat. He'll be the first one to say that. But
Yes,
come
we
on,
will.
The
let's
black
get into
militia,
the report.
the black militia pulled up cats in the city, and they said, if you don't tell us nothing, we're gonna think you ain't doing nothing. One of the members of the black militia said to Breonna Taylor protest. Now, this is where this is starting to get out of hand. I want everybody to look at this picture right there. And the only thing that's beautiful about that picture is the unity and black men knowing their rights when it comes to gun violence. What's getting out of hand is Kentucky. I'm gonna need y'all to start making a decision because you're putting people on the edge of a cliff. Somebody's gonna jump. And it's not gonna be a good situation until Breonna Taylor and the crime committed against her is taken care of. On next, she liked that right there. On next, okay. So Ja Rule, I don't know if Ja Rule like getting. I used to be a Ja Rule fan.
He made some good music. Come on, gotta give him his credit. He made some good music. He made some bad business decisions, but he made some good music.
I mean, it was 20 years ago though.
It was
okay.
Hey, so I got a Ja Rule clip. I want y'all to see this. Ja Rule went to Twitter and Ja Rule said, first of all, I want y'all to see the clip. This is the clip of him performing in Milwaukee. So hit it, producer. This is hilarious. I mean, this is not hilarious. This is sad. I don't think that was it. Was that it? Okay, here we go.
Yes, we ready? I'm loading up. Give me time to load up. Are we ready? I guess not.
So, early part of the season, Ja Rule was performing at Milwaukee Bucks game. He claimed the DJ, the Milwaukee Bucks DJ, did not have his music prepared and ready. So he goes to Twitter today to say, hey, Milwaukee Bucks owe me an apology for the incident that set my career down the pipe hole. Well, Ja Rule, let me tell you something. It wasn't Milwaukee, brother. It was Milwaukee didn't send you down the drain. You was going down there anyway. So I don't know what to tell you. Good music we can talk to you.
He was already flushed. He was already flushed down with the rest of that stuff. I don't know what he's talking about.
Right. I guess he's trying to find it out.
So many times he moves like he knows it's over.
And you know what I'm saying? It's like Bow Wow. I mean, these two must be. Sometimes I wonder if these two men are masochistic because they seem to like pain. They seem to get pleasure out of having pain administered to them because they say such ridiculous and outlandish things publicly. It's just like, man, sit your ass down.
Yeah, man. You can't be the butt of the joke all the time. And speaking of butt of the jokes, let me tell you how serious this is, King James. So this video was circulating yesterday on Black Twitter, Instagram, the World Wide Web, CNN, everything. So the question today is, would you tell your mother to get into the back seat? Play the video, producers. I want them to see this. Because you know it was staged, but I want y'all to see this video.
Like, why you in the front seat? And I get that that's your mom and everything, but like, you going to the back, right? No, absolutely not. Why? What are you talking about? I'm your wife. Are you serious right now? We gotta keep having these type of conversations. Every time I make up with your mother, is always a problem. I'm in his life now, so why are you still here? I'm always gonna be okay, but go to the back fucking seat. I'm your wife. I'm your fucking wife. I love you. But this is my car.
They understand we went in this together, but babe, that's my mom. I haven't seen her since Corona.
He came from her. That's my car. No, every time she's around, you good job. Stop being a mama's boy.
I love you and I love her. I love both of y'all.
Go to the back. Why do you go to the back seat? Go to the back seat. No, I'm so tired of this shit. Go to the back. You could be his mother, cool, but go to the back.
Wow.
I hated this whole video. I hated the whole thing. I hate watching it. It's cringeworthy because it's really disgusting behavior. I don't even know why they're playing like that is so disrespectful. It's just like, ew, like who does that? Like you let people who are your elders, people, you should respect anyone who's, you should give respect to everyone, but you should especially respect your elders and your husband's mother, your mother-in-law. Why is it so important for you to sit in the front seat, in the passenger seat? You don't get your ass in the back seat. Like,
he said,
are you about to walk
here now? Why are you still around? I'm with
why
him
are you
now.
still around? Like, you thought his mother was gonna leave his life because you came around? Like, girl, bye.
Say bye.
I can't stand it. Oh, she did? Oh no.
Wait a minute,
She
what
got the
happened?
right mama, because some mamas might be trying to get down with her.
Wait a minute, I missed that. What happened?
No,
she said bye.
I got 3 sons. One is 21, and y'all catch me on Instagram so y'all can see these hands.
Let me tell you something. Tell him, Keisha. Let me tell you something. You went, first of all, that conversation wouldn't even got past probably like the second line. Because now, like Cassie said, now your ass can walk.
Now we know you a mama's boy, so Romeo would have been like, bye, divorce.
She said this, but she said it's her car.
I'm like, girl, who cares?
She said it was
Get
her
in the back seat.
No.
But
so the question
like,
is, I'm gonna propose this question to the 4 of you guys. I'm gonna start with King James. Does the value of the wife outweigh the value of the mother when you're married?
That's not the way I even look at it.
That's
it's just
not,
that, I just look at my mother and, in respect for the people who have been there before me and the people who brought me into the world. That is just sacrosanct. You don't violate that. It's not subject to negotiation. And I will never date and have never dated a woman who has even contemplated disrespecting my mother. It's not even a conversation. Like, she see my mother in the front seat. She's getting into the back. She's not even opening her mouth. We're not having that conversation. I'm not having that conversation with no woman. I promise you that. You are not going to disrespect my mother.
Holy Spirit, rain down. Come on, Terry. You better preach this morning, okay? What conversation are we having?
I mean, honestly, I think it was staged, but it was giving off real vibes, and I could definitely see that happening. And whoever's out here acting like that, you need to check the disrespect, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I seen New York plates or something.
Oh my God. I'm like, it's definitely New York. Like, it's New York written all over it.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that this thing happens all the time. Maybe not in terms of seats, maybe not in terms of front and back seat, but the disrespect is real and it's too prevalent. It's too prevalent. Speaking of what's prevalent is, as we move on to my report, we have in our midst a legend. Now, this is a picture of Mike Dicker. He's in the Hall of Fame as a player, and he might be going to the Hall of Fame as a coach. And he said it is disrespectful. He said it is disrespectful for anybody to kneel, and if you kneel on an NFL field, you need to get, he said, and I quote, "get the hell out of the country." Now, back in the 90s, when he was the coach of the New Orleans Saints, and if you could put that picture back up, he didn't think it was disrespectful to a superstar out of the University of Texas named Ricky Williams when he drafted him. And if you could put that picture back up, he didn't think it was disrespectful on draft day on national TV to put on these ridiculous fake dreads so that, when he drafted Ricky Williams, he didn't think that was disrespectful. And if I gave you the picture of the wedding.
There was a picture of him in a wedding dress as well.
No, I had that up there. I don't know if they still have it or if they're able to retrieve it and put it up. But maybe a little bit later they can. But he also, basically emasculated Ricky Williams. He was an NFL superstar. He's a legend at the University of Texas. And he gets drafted. And a few days after getting drafted, you do a cover story for ESPN, the magazine, in which you played it like you're marrying Ricky Williams. And he's in a dress. He's in a wedding dress. And you sitting up there looking proud. This is the same mentality. And as a matter of fact, he got fired that year. He didn't even last a year with the New Orleans Saints because he was such a bad coach in New Orleans. But you could disrespect a black man on national TV, but a black man can't kneel respectfully and peacefully. But you're gonna tell them to get the hell out of the country, man. Miss me with all that noise, man. Okay. You have not said one thing about oppression and overcoming racism and how the institution of racism and slavery is evil. But you're gonna say peacefully protesting, get the hell out of my country. No, you need to get out, because with a name like Ditka, you must have came from Eastern Europe or somewhere. You're not native to this country either. You get out. Anyway.
All right now.
You get out.
As a matter of fact, you get the hell out of my country, because I'm a U.S. citizen and I defended this nation. I made you look good, and you get the hell out. On to the next slide. Oh, here's the picture right here. This ain't disrespectful.
But okay, let's.
This ain't disrespectful. This is the epitome.
Let's just discuss who came up with the
disgusting.
concept.
This is the same mentality that led him to
concept?
yeah. This is the same mentality that got him ousted from New Orleans after only a year. He didn't even last a year after he did that. So now
ESPN thought that was a good idea.
He lasted at all after he did that?
he didn't last. He didn't even last a year. His team was that New Orleans Saints team was so bad that he got fired before the year was out. Because that's what he deserved. That's karma. You're gonna disrespect that black man twice within 2 months after drafting him. You're gonna disrespect him. So you're gonna talk about emasculating the black man, but kneel peacefully. And man, come on, man, come on. I ain't got time for you today, Dick. I ain't got time for you. But anyway, on to the next slide. Whenever y'all feel like it. Anyway, the NFL is doing too much in these streets, okay? So the NFL said that they're going to allow, well, this is my opinion. They're doing too much in these streets. The NFL now said, according to some reports, that they're going to honor Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd by putting those names on the back of helmets. And then they're going to have such things as end racism, and we're all in this together in the end zones. They're going to have those phrases. Yeah, we're all in this together. We're all of a sudden we're in this together. We're not. You defiled my brother Colin Kaepernick. You vilified him, and then you were caught colluding to keep him out of the NFL, and you had to pay millions of dollars in restitution or reparations to Colin Kaepernick, which really is reparations, for colluding to keep him out of the NFL. All of a sudden, after George Floyd, now all of a sudden you want to apologize for how you handled that situation, and all of a sudden you want to have social messaging in the end zones. You want to put it in the racist people's face. You want to put it in everybody's face. I just don't understand. You're doing too much in these streets, and you're not doing the right thing. And you're not doing the right thing. Like Munson said, KPIs, key performance indicators. No, don't give me all that social messaging. Don't honor nobody on my behalf or for me. Give me some money. Give me some black men in higher positions. Give me more black head coach. Give me more executives. Don't go to this sorry, ridiculous, I don't know what you call it, trying to honor people that you didn't care died in the first place. So anyway, I don't know how y'all feel about that.
Put some respect on the black man, okay? The black community. We ain't out, y'all can't be out here doing stuff for brownie points, and now y'all want to stuff it down our throat after all the things that y'all did. No, Colin Kaepernick, we see what they did to you. We ain't gonna forget. You think because you put it in the end zones, we're all in this together. That's like right now saying all lives matter. No, all lives don't matter until Black lives matter. So guess what? Y'all need to be in this because we've been in this.
Yeah, exactly.
Heard you.
Maybe it should say we joining in this with you. Now we all in this together, but we joining in with you.
Right.
What does that mean?
I said this yesterday when King James made this statement. I guarantee you, in a fantasy world, if every black player in the NFL said we're not gonna play on Sunday, think about how that would change the game. If every black player from every NFL team was like, you know what, we ain't gonna play today. Show me that game.
As a matter of fact, before we go to our next slide, let's see what people are saying on FB, Romeo.
Oh, you got D. Turner. Absolutely. I agree with you. First King James. Kathleen Collin, F the NFL. D. Turner, you speak on it, First King James. Iris Baker, very disrespectful for that video. Iris Baker, I think the mother and the wife were disrespectful to each other. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But the son should have had a backbone and told his wife to get her ass in the back seat. That's what's going on Twitter. First, I don't know.
I couldn't even hear the mom because the wife was talking so loud. I didn't hear nothing the mama said.
Well, our producer said that she said bye, HOE. So
the mom?
Yeah, the mom said that, but we couldn't hear her. But it should have never have gotten to that point, just like you said, because of the fact that the man should have had the testicular fortitude to stand up and shut the situation down, tell his wife to get into the back seat or walk or get another ride or catch Uber. But he did nothing. Yeah. He sat there trying to placate both of them and ended up placating nobody.
Well,
yeah,
or like Key James said, look, chick, we ain't having this conversation. I don't know who you think.
At this point, it's too late. It's like you want everything to be great between your partner and whoever your family is before you get married. Like once you married and it's like becomes this is like, that's some.
The thing is, their relationship sounds like it has no hope because she said,
"Oh, don't."
When she came,
she said, "Get on."
Yeah.
Goodbye. You're not needed anymore. Like what?
Yeah.
Person who gave him life, he don't need him no more.
Right.
So now, why are you still here?
Oh man.
Well, the thing is, if different. Now I do have to add, I just feel that if the producers are correct and she did say bye, whore, then the mother is wrong because,
Whore, not whore.
Oh, okay. Well, the thing is, if she if she defiled the daughter verbally, then she wrong as well. I'm not going to excuse, because I don't listen. If my mother at her age went ahead and said something like that to my girlfriend, man, that would create that would be very uncomfortable for me. I can't back that. The mother is supposed to be older. You're supposed to de-escalate the situation. Now you got to respect the mother, but the mother can't be calling people all out of names. I'm not going to support that.
No. I mean, at this point, the mom done blacked out. The wife done. She done forgot who. I mean, she forgot who she was with and everything. I'm just speaking as a boy, mom, honey. I done forgot who y'all was at this point because all she should have been saying is unlock the door.
and that is the thing that gets us in so much trouble, Romeo, is how we major in such frivolity. Like this doesn't matter. Like it's just a seat. Y'all probably just going down the street to go home. What's the problem?
It ain't none of it is that serious.
None of it is that serious.
Rental car, your car, her car. Who cares? Right. Just get in the back seat.
That's both of our car.
I mean,
it's not that serious.
My on and off girlfriend. I mean, you know what I'm saying? My on and off girlfriend. I'm just thinking about how she would act, and if I pull up to pick her up, and my mother's in the front seat, dude, wouldn't even be a conversation. She would just get in the back seat.
You just get in the back seat and say, and you ask if y'all are going to get in the car as a three. You just ask. I mean, there definitely been situations where someone was like. They'll tell you like it's fine. I want to sit in the back seat.
Yeah, I want FB. Right.
You don't do that. It's disrespectful and it's rude. Like she pulled up and she's already in the seat. You gonna push her out? Like, girl, it's not serious.
In the car, they came to pick you up. Do you want this ride or not?
It's not. It's really that easy. Are you coming home or are you gonna stay on the street?
Right.
Are you gonna stay on the block? You gonna spend the night here? Or you gonna get this ride to go home? Girl,
no, because even if that situation even began, I got a lot of respect for my, girlfriend. If she even began to behave like that woman that the wife did, I'm pulling off. I'm pulling off. I'm not going to even argue with you. I'm out. Like deuces.
Yeah, it's just like.
Is it possible that we could hear the video again so that we could try to listen to what the mom is saying?
It just makes me cringe to even watch it. Like when I saw it the first time, I was like, I can't.
I want to hear if the mom actually did, go there with the whole word. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, child.
Can we get that video back up?
Okay. Well, I want FB to weigh on this. FB, what do you think? Is the wife wrong or is the mother-in-law wrong? But here it is, right here.
Yeah, like she was on BS as soon as they pulled up. She started on BS.
Yeah, like why she in the front seat? And I get that that's your mom and everything, but like you going to the back, right? No, absolutely not. Why? What are you talking about? I'm your wife. Are you serious right now? We gotta keep having these type of conversations. Every time I make up with your mother, it's always a problem. I'm in his life now, so why are you still here?
I'm always gonna be here.
Okay, but go to the back of your seat.
Babe,
I'm your wife. I'm your wife.
I love you and I love you.
But this is my car.
Babe, I understand we're in this together, but babe, that's my mom. I haven't seen her since Corona.
She came from her. That's my car. No, but every time she's around you, good job. Stop being a mama's boy.
I love you and I love her. I love both of y'all.
Go to the back. Why do you go to the back seat? Go to the back seat. No, I'm so tired of this shit. Go to the back. You could be his mother, cool, but go to the back.
Well,
you can be his mother, cool. Go to the back. I know that's your mom and all, but
no. You know what? If the mom did not say the H word, she had the posture of it. She was leaning on. She had her gangster lean on. Like what? What? You think I'm moving? What? Yeah. So it looked like she said it from her face. Her facial expression said, "Bye, H." Even if she didn't say it.
I couldn't tell who said it.
No, as soon as they pulled up, she said, "Why is she in the front?" So
she said, "I get that's your mom and all, but you moving to the back."
That's the part I didn't hear. Yeah, that's your mom cool and all, but she can't. What?
But so was she supposed to already been in the back when they pulled up?
That's what she expected. She was like, "That's your permanent seat in the back." Like, this is my car. The two front seats are reserved.
Well, it's the mother's car?
Nah, it's the wife's car. She said, "It's my car."
I just don't get it. I just don't.
Help
you know
her.
what I'm saying? If anything looked like it was about to erupt, I would get in the back seat and be like, "Okay, you drive, so both of y'all could be in the front. Now let's go."
And if I'm your friend, bro, I'm telling you straight up
right now, like, you need to calm down. Like,
I didn't hear the friend say that though. The friend said, "Calm down." The friend did say, "Calm down," but I would have pulled off on her. He should have just pulled off on her, and she would have rode in the front seat when I came back for her later.
I mean, I'm like, what is actually going on here?
Yeah. But anyway, I got some more drama for y'all. I got one more slide that we can go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, I got one more thing on the docket this morning in terms of some drama. Cass, come get your boy. According to reports, more than 5,000 people have signed a petition to have Tory Lanez deported because, you know, there's some people that still don't know that this dude is not an American. He's Canadian. He was born in Canada, but he made his bones here in the United States, and he is a legitimate star. He got over, I think, about 1 million followers on Instagram. So, I mean, he's about it music-wise. But it's becoming increasingly clear, allegedly, that he shot Megan Thee Stallion in the feet, both her feet, that required her to go to surgery. And if you saw that, if you saw the report on Instagram Live, she couldn't even keep her composure. She could barely even talk.
It was traumatized. Because she looked like she was about to like just bust out into tears.
Today it was a lot. It was a lot. She was saying in that video, and she talked about not having her parents, and, you know, surrounding herself, you know, looking for that true love and just like family thing. It was really deep, and she was saying, you know, how men have been chiming in. So shout out to 50 Cent for putting that apology out there, because she was saying that those things really bothered her.
It would bother me too if someone was joking about me getting shot. It's like, bro, this is violence. Like, this could have like seriously harmed me. You know, like,
no, she could have been killed. Not only that, because she could have been killed because later on, as you saw in the reports, if you saw the video, they were pulled over later on by the LAPD, who don't have exactly the greatest reputation as a police department, and they had them up. They had to come out of the car with their hands up because they had reports of shooting, so they had the guns drawn. one little slip, and she could have been shot. And you saw her walking. You saw the bloody footprints from being shot in the foot.
Like you could tell, like she was in pain because she was kind of like stumbling, after she got out the car. Because if you've been shot in both of your feet, like you're not gonna be able to walk just like, an everyday person. So this was definitely crazy.
I think it's sad.
Show is funny to me.
I feel bad for Tory Lanez. I feel very bad for Tory Lanez.
His birthday was actually yesterday. I forgot to mention it, or I didn't find out until later in the day, but his birthday was yesterday. So this is a lot going on for your birthday.
You forget, you don't even care, Cass. You don't even care. And I feel bad for that man, because when this story comes out, King James, the man gonna have some weight on his head. They gonna have some, like that Houston. Let me tell you something. This is one thing I learned already. Right. This is the one thing I learned that you don't want on your head. Philly, Houston, Atlanta. You do not want none of them 3 states on your head. And the fact the industry is not gonna choose him over no Megan, that ain't finna happen. No. So
it's not even a choice of choosing. Like allegedly he shot her because she got mad. She allegedly got mad, according to the reports, that he was flirting too heavily with Kylie Jenner at her house in Holmby Hills. And then they got into an argument, and then some type of shooting went down in Hollywood Hills, just a few miles away. So the fact is that it's not just, he's in trouble. He's in great trouble legally. He's in trouble career-wise. He's in trouble health-wise because there's a bounty on his head, and he's in trouble with his citizenship. He's in trouble in 4 different ways. You're talking about canceled, he's canceled.
Yeah, they're going to start saying, say her name.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
Yeah, it's not looking good. But anyway, I believe that we have some prestigious guests up on the docket right now. Oh, wow. We see that according to the reports, she was allegedly beating him up. See, that ain't no justification for getting shot, though.
I'm just ready for the real truth to come out. I mean, it's been so much speculation, so much things that allegedly happened.
Yeah.
The story is like a twister. It's like so many different, things have happened. So I'm just ready for the truth to come out. And even when Megan spoke yesterday, it was like she was still kind of reserved. She didn't mention anyone's name. So I guess this is an ongoing investigation, because she was just really talking about her trauma,
right.
How it affected her.
I gotta say this, King James and Keisha. That's the one thing I don't like about situations like this. I understand people got to come to their own selves of how they're gonna express it, but the more you make it linger, the more you involve people's opinions, comments, anger. Like, if I know it's 2 separate situations, but if you think about Breonna Taylor, the fact that we haven't heard anything, people's anger and people's attention and people's comments are getting bigger and bigger. And the fact that Megan and him or whatever has to put this to rest, I honestly think it's making it worse.
No, and you're definitely right. The anger is amplifying and is being exacerbated by the delay in the LAPD investigation. Yes, just like with Breonna Taylor. Here's the problem, though. They have to make sure, because if this situation, I see him spending many years in jail. If he is the shooter and being deported, and never being able to come to the United States again because he committed a felony act. He committed a felony crime. You know what I'm saying? This is attempted murder if he did it, allegedly. So they have to take their time and make sure they get their right, because there's a lot of ramifications to this particular situation. And this is something that our girl will never get over. Megan Thee Stallion will never get over this. But anyway, we're going to have to retire this particular topic for right now. Romeo International, Cassidy Sparks, and Keisha, I yield the floor to y'all with our next guest, Black and Mobile.
What's up? We're so excited to welcome, founder of Black and Mobile. This is a Black-owned food delivery service. They're doing big things. You're out of Philadelphia. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself, and tell us a little bit about your business.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Well, like I said, my name is David Cabello. I'm the founder and CEO of Black and Mobile, which is the first Black-owned food delivery service in the country that exclusively delivers for Black-owned restaurants. So I started in 2019, last year. I've only been in business for 17 months. I launched in Philadelphia. I am now in Detroit and Atlanta. I've employed over 300 people as far as drivers, and we're planning to expand to at least 12 new cities by the end of next year.
So you're doing big things. This is amazing. I'm so excited for this app. I'm so excited for the options that you're offering. And I'm very excited that you're now in Atlanta. But let's just get into what inspired you and your brother. You have a twin brother to start Black and Mobile.
Yeah, well, what inspired me was really, I'm not gonna lie, my brother did. He inspired me to really help the community first. I'm not that I wasn't gonna do it, but I was going to school for business. So that's what I was going to school for, to learn more about business. And I went in 2016, we were attending Shippensburg University in our third semester, and we decided to drop out the day after Trump got elected. We said, we're going to help Black businesses any way we can. So people thought we were extremists. People thought we were crazy. The National Guard on campus, they were looking at us crazy. So it was just a lot where it's like, they didn't understand what we were doing or why we were doing it. So about 2 months after that, someone told me that I can start delivering food for Postmates on a bike. I'm like, that's impossible. Show me how to do it, please. Like, I'm looking for a job. Because I was working as a janitor at a local bookstore and trying to help them stay, in business. So someone showed me how to do it. I started delivering food for Postmates. And about a couple months after that, I started with Uber Eats. And then I ended up on Caviar. And about 7 months into it, I made like $1,100 in 30 hours of work. So I said, well, and I was on a regular bicycle. I'm talking about, I've been in the rain, the snow, all that stuff. And I said, if I can make this much money on a regular bike, delivering food, how much could I make if I own a company? So I went home, I typed in a YouTube, how do I start a delivery service? I literally watched about 2 of the corniest videos ever and read some stuff on Google. And I said, I'm ready to start my business. After researching the market, I seen that there were no Black-owned food delivery services out there on that level, as far as Grubhub, Postmates, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Eat24, GoPuff, all the new ones that are coming out. They're all white or Asian owned, none of them were Black-owned. So I said I was going to be the first one.
I love this. Love it. Keisha, Romeo.
Wired. I mean, my hats off to you and your twin brother at 25 years old. You guys have been able to employ over 300 people, and the windows and the gates are still opening for you. And I think you guys just launched. I'm here in Atlanta, so I'm gonna have to check you out. Okay, here in Atlanta, I believe on July the 18th, right?
We were supposed to launch on the 18th. I've been going through some challenges with my developers at the moment, launching like the final product. It's costing me a little bit of money, but they're Black-owned tech companies, so we're trying to keep the money in the circle. So it was supposed to launch on the 18th. We just launched it on the 21st with our website because we just couldn't afford to stay closed. But the final product should be done today or tomorrow.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to that. And we know it's going to happen because you've already done it before. So we know that it's coming. Let me ask you, what is your next city that you guys are looking to launch the mobile?
LA. LA is the next city that we're looking at. And then, I don't know if we're ready for New York yet. I would love to. We have to make sure everything is right for all the systems and apps for at least 6 months. But then after that, we can go to Baltimore, we can go to Chicago. I'm talking to another Black-owned grocery store service out there. It's called Oja Express. I don't know if you heard of them. It's called Oja Express, but they basically deliver groceries from Caribbean, African, Latino, Indian grocery stores. So we're in talks, going out there, partner with them. But really, we're just going to go to every major Black-owned city, where there's a lot of Black people, there's a lot of Black businesses. That's where we're going because we're here to help the community and create employment opportunities. During pandemic, I've been able to help people feed their families, at 25 years old. So it's amazing still to be able to just stay open against some of these big Fortune 500 companies like Amazon and Uber Eats. The fact that I'm only 17 months in and I can, stay in business, and I'm pretty known on social media. I mean, not to flex or anything, but I just passed Grubhub on followers too. And I've only been in business for 17 months and they've been in business since 2004. So
amazing.
So it's just crazy.
Add to it.
Say that one more time.
Got to get y'all
Yeah, we need to know your Instagram so we can go ahead on and keep that going up. people
and
what's your
mobile. It's black and
Instagram,
mobile.
because I'm about to follow you because as a mom of 3 sons, I am inspired. You look like my son. You make me feel inspired because it makes me see that there's so many things out there that my son could be doing. And not to say that I don't know, but you know, he just graduated this year. He has his little locks things going right now. So you're looking like my son. And I'm like, son, what you gonna do? He like, Mom, I'm reading right now. So, you know, I'm inspired. I want my son to follow you. I literally want my son to go back and watch this on this journey. So you are out here just inspiring the youth. I am here to tell you today as a mom and as a woman that is much older than you, I'm truly inspired by what you're doing.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
First of all, Keisha, I'm upset. I'm upset, Cassidy, because see, he not telling y'all the truth. I was the third brother, and they didn't tell me about it. So when I found out about it from Uncle, you know Uncle Leroy. Uncle Leroy told me after the fact. So I felt left out. You know what I'm saying? I had dreads too. Let me ask you this question, man. You said something.
Shot and fishing. That's why they didn't tell you.
Let me ask you this question, because you sparked something, and I'm a tech head, right? You said something very, very key that a lot of young people do not do, and it's the most simplest thing. You said, I went to the internet. I researched. I went to YouTube. I watched the video. Taking yourself out of the business part. Let's go to you growing as a young man. Tell people how important it is and how easy it is to actually take the time to search, learn, and apply.
I mean, honestly, I had no choice. I dropped out of college. I had to do something. I had to figure something out. So, you know, for anyone that is, you know, scared to start a business or just don't know where to start, I mean, we use our phones for everything. You know, you can sit on social media for hours and hours a day, but you can't go search and research hours a day for your business and for your future. So that's how I looked at it, to where, you know, this is an investment for my future. You know, really, it was years ago. Like, I started this business and even thought of the concept. It took me a year and a half just to even launch it after I came up with the idea. So everything you need is already out there. This is the age of information. This is the age of action. If you want to do it, and if you want the abundance, you have to go grab it. You have to go get it. I mean, everything is on the internet. I mean, I watched a video. Now, you know, I'm not saying YouTube and everything is going to solve all your problems, because you still have to execute. You still have to go through with the plan, and you have to implement what you've learned. So, you know, that's what I would say is, you know, learn as much as you can and make the investment now. You know, it doesn't matter if you're at 25 or 18 or 35 or in your 50s. If you want to apply yourself and you want to learn, it's never too late to learn, because your competitors aren't going to stop. So, you know, that's how I look at it. I'm working every day, and I didn't look at it, and don't go into business looking at how can I stop my competitor from making money. How about you just worry about making money first? Because I could have went in there saying, well, let me try to stop DoorDash. Let me try to boycott them and Uber Eats. They can have theirs, I have mine, because they're not in competition with me. They will never be able to do what I do, just because of the fact that I'm Black. So they won't never be able to do that. So it's just, you know, you have to know your advantages. You have to know that, first of all, don't worry about nobody else. Worry about what you have to do. Research, implement, and just stay the course.
Absolutely. And y'all, welcome to the Rolling Out AM show. We're here with Romeo International, Keisha Green, David Cobello of Black and Mobile. We're super excited to have you. Please share the show. Let everybody know about this young man and his Black business and support them. David, I want to ask you, for those Black-owned businesses out there who want to be on your platform, how do they get on there? Do you select them? Can they apply? Tell us about that process.
Yeah, so I mean, if we do have a database of restaurants in almost every city, you know, that we just kind of gather a list of. So, you know, we do email people, DM them, and, you know, when I go out to the city, I pull up on them and drop flyers off and talk to them. So that's just one way there. But if someone was interested in another city or a current city, you would just go to blackandmobile.com and apply to the business application. Or if you DM us on Instagram, my mom is full-time customer service. She'll respond back to you and get you on the platform. So, you know, those are two ways, you know, to get it.
Shout out to mom.
I love it. My mom is the customer service. I love that.
Full-time customer service. He said, David, I got a question for you. Let me ask you this. Being a young Black man who just, you know, like you said, first of all, I think that you know, you and your brother obviously wanted to really, really set a standard when you guys, you know, dropped out of school. You said the day after Trump was elected. And do you see yourself in the future helping other young Black men who are looking to launch apps or have business ideas, maybe setting up a camp or something where you guys actually help them to get started?
Maybe, you know, I was thinking about doing some type of entrepreneur classes because, I mean, a lot of people tell me you should do it. I think it comes from me not being confident enough and me being able to teach people or show people that I know how to do it, because it just came together so organically, where it wasn't like I was trying to teach myself something that, all right, well, let me go teach the world now. Like, it was really just pure passion and heart. So eventually I will want to do it to help other young entrepreneurs get to, you know, that level, because again, that's the only way we're going to be able to thrive as a community, is either starting your own business, helping an existing business, or just, you know, working for one, honestly. Really, that's the only way to help it. So, you know, showing the youth that, you know, you can help your community first and be successful. That's what I would want to show people, you know. But like, business is out there, you can learn business from anybody, but I think what I would want to show people, and definitely the youth, is that you can help your community first and put your community first and make money while doing it, you know?
Here's the thing, coming off of what Keisha just said, and, you know, I don't want to take away from nothing you achieved. I just listening to you talk, I don't think it's the business. I don't even think it's the knowledge. I'm loving the hustle. Like, I'm hearing you, right? I'm hearing you say, I studied, I learned, it took a year and some change, I applied. A lot of these young cats, man, they don't have that hustle. That hustle that you have, if you're gonna give anything to people, man, from your boy Romeo, please, man, instill in the people, hey, this hustle is a marathon. This ain't no track race. This ain't no 50-yard dash. This is my time, my investment, my career. I love that.
Sometimes it's hard because, you know, some people, I mean, I'm not gonna say you're born with hustle, but you have to. I went through a lot of stuff to get this hustle. Like, I went through a lot of stuff and being in poverty, growing up with a single mom. That's what made me want to be hungry. It's really just hunger. And really, I don't even like to call it hustle. Even with, you know, everything that's going on in our community, it's survival. Like, this is survival. If I don't do this for Black men and for Black families, this is survival. So this will have to be done. So some people don't think survival. Some people only think money and instant gratification. So I can try to teach people all they want, but they have to be in survival mode. They have to be in hustle mode. They have to be in grind mode and be receptive, or at least be able to learn that. But, you know, it ain't built out for everybody. So, you know.
Make sure y'all share this live. This young king deserves for the world to truly know what he's out here doing. We need you guys to share him with the world. We need you guys to share the Rolling Out this morning. We are just so grateful to have him on here and all that he's doing.
Absolutely. David, please just tell everybody where they can find your social media. So not only can they surpass everybody else, you know, get y'all numbers up, but the website where they can find application, find those lists of Black restaurants.
Yeah, so the first thing is, if you just type in Black and Mobile on Google, we'll pop all up. But if you want to follow us on social media and stay updated when we're coming to your city, or just how to support, you can follow us on Instagram. That's where I'm most active at. It's Black and Mobile, just BLACKAND Mobile. Facebook, you know, I'm not too active on there. Twitter, everything is Black and Mobile. blackandmobile.com. We have an app. We have a new app launching within today or tomorrow. That's going to be just basically on the same level as the competitors, all done by a Black-owned company. So we're just keeping the money in the circle and making the dollar circulate.
Absolutely. Well, we are so appreciative of you coming on here, dropping all this information. You're doing some incredible things. We love that you know, Atlanta's about to be lit with this, because we have some great business, Black-owned restaurants here, but we're excited that you're expanding also. So we wish you the best.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, y'all. Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
You as well.
You too, man. I like that, man. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Like, look, my working and come up with a business. I'm like,
he said he watched 2 of the corniest videos ever that changed his life.
He said, I'm literally saying, okay, I need to go find me some corny videos on YouTube.
It goes back to what we spoke about with the young lady who played the trumpet, and how do we integrate young people to know that business is cool? One of my younger little nephews, he's a PlayStation head, this, that, and the third. he couldn't get out of that. So the only way to get him deep into it was to say, hey, these 5 socialite people are making money, producing games, building games, this, that, and the third. Now he's in. I think with today's generation, your sons, me, Cass, our future kids, King J, I think the learning has to change, because I think me personally, I think the old standard does not work. Like I don't think it applies to today. And if young kids don't see that it's cool to be Black and mobile, they don't see that it's cool from that young man that, hey, I'm 25 and I have a business making this amount of money, they're still gonna think it's just rapping sports. That's it.
Well, to kind of piggyback off of what you're saying, I agree so much with you, because my youngest son, he's 14 and he just hates school. He doesn't care for the learning environment, the way that it's done. And I've been telling my mom for the longest, I was like, school isn't even going to matter over the next 5 years. It's not going to be even important for children to go into the school. And even right now, look, how are they going to get the children back into the school? But I've seen my son like line up business moves, like to be in videos and things like that. And I'm like, the school cannot teach him how to do these things. So we need to be able to identify the gifts within our children and not force them into the school book learning ideal of that's going to be, you know, all that's going to allow them to be great in the future, because that's not true.
I would say, because my mom's a teacher, so you know, formal education is really important for, you know, you need to know the English language. You need to know how to communicate. You need to know how to do basic math. You need to know the basic principles of science and social studies. So I'm not going to say it's not important. What I will say that our educational system is lacking is the exposure to those certain skill sets that can, you know, ultimately help us as a people to achieve our wildest dreams and become financially stable and, you know, have that generational wealth. For me, I think it's all about exposure and being exposed to those things, like the musical programs, the tech programs, and those different things, or whatever it is that you're interested in. For example, my high school had a communications program, which taught me how to edit, shoot, all these different things in high school, so that I could say, oh, that's what I want to go and do in college. Those concentrations and those things in school can help direct our youth to figure out what it is they need.
And that's the point I wanted to make, is piggybacking on all of your points. The American educational system is in revolt against itself, because it's asking us to pay taxes for something that we cannot use to educate our children and uplift our people. The problem is that the educational system is inadequate because it's not keeping up with the times, and is not reaching the minds of our children, which it's supposed to do. Because back in the day, it did. We did have a school newspaper, which doesn't seem to exist anymore. We, you know, I'm talking about in terms of journalism. The acting department, as she was talking about the tech department, these things have been obliterated. These things have been banished. These things are gone because of cutbacks. So our children are not being reached. But the educational system is extremely important, of teaching you the fundamentals, the things that are universal, such as mathematics.
Right.
Or
I will say things that need to be, you know, implemented.
I believe extremely important, but I also believe that once you have those very strong foundational tools that you need for education, you can flourish and be anything that you want to be.
Oh, I agree, 100%. You definitely need that foundation, and I think schools should integrate things like economics into, you know, education in middle school, starting in middle school, those tech pathways, those different pathways, and make it more like a college, you know, based system, so that you can know this is what I can, you know, focus on, and this is how I can make money in it. Because I feel like a lot of our education lacks, you know, like how to manage money. Like,
let's give a shout out to Ari Love watching over on Facebook. And Romeo, let's see what Facebook talking about.
Robert Shropshire, I'm liking this guy. He says, you're right, Romeo. The old has to update to where they are. Tiffany Good says, yes, Mom. Iris Baker says, it's nice to see a young man doing something good with his life instead of in the streets doing wrong. D. Turner, proud, Black and mobile. Awesome conversation cast in the city. And Black and Mobile, way to grind, young man. This is true success story. And shout out to the comments on YouTube. I wanted to add this one little statement to what Cass just said, which actually ties into what Keisha said, which actually ties into what King James said. Yeah, I went to a PWI. I remember my very first group.
Hold on, what is that? Hold on, what is that? PWI.
Oh, the established Georgia Tech, the best school on the planet. But I will say this, within that first group, because I think you went to a great PWI as well, sir, didn't you? Right?
Yeah. The Ohio State University. Yeah.
Yeah, man, sounds great. So I did notice the difference though. In the circle, you have myself, an athlete, Asian, Arabian, and a white guy. I will say this is freshman year. I will say the Asian and the Arabian were more up to date computer-wise than the other three people within the group. And I think it goes back to what King James said. Our other countries are preparing their students or preparing their youth for what's financially now, while we're still on, hey, this is what happened in Black History Month. This is what happened with Christopher Columbus. Like we're still teaching.
They don't even get Black History Month right. They don't even get Black History Month right. So no, because if I could graduate from high school and have never, and I'm almost ashamed to say it, I graduated from high school and had never heard of anything called the Black Panthers. I had never heard of Malcolm X. I had never heard of anything outside of Martin Luther King. So no, they're not even doing that right.
That's what I'm trying to say about the educational system, you know.
And so other countries, and it's not just about the money, although that is important. It's occupational, as Keisha's trying to relate to. It's not just about the money, because if he works, he's going to get the money. Her son is having trouble being connected to the educational system because it's not speaking to him and giving him any hope of finding an occupation that he can use to take care of himself and his children and his family. That is the point.
Yes. And I agree with you, especially when he sees his mom does all these entrepreneur things and his friends have businesses that technically if the school teach them properly and they were to go to do the research, some of his friends make more than his teacher.
Oh my God, see. Oh.
So then what happens?
King James' last slide, you guys. He has a last slide.
Okay, this is not a joking matter. Corey Holcomb is a brilliant. He had me crying when I saw him last time at the Comedy Store in West Hollywood, California. But he said that if he gives you the COVID, he's doing you a favor. I just like, see, that's just not even funny when you get to that point.
A smart man.
Huh?
You said this is a smart man.
Yeah, he's a brilliant comedian, and he's usually, but even smart people can make bad decisions or dumb statements trying to garner a joke. And so basically, he just said that if he gave you the COVID, he's doing you a favor because you should be, basically practicing sequestration and social distancing anyway. And so you should be staying at home anyway. So it was a bad joke. So that was my last slide. But I want to get back to this educational system because it ain't teaching our children.
Slow down, Jim Shoes, because we don't want to just do that. I think we could have a whole conversation about education and the idea. I'm more concerned about how many of our young kids will be suffering based on this and how many owners and companies are going to be able to support the men and more particularly the women who will have to teach their children at home while they're doing virtual education. I mean, we really have to make sure that we're talking about this subject matter because a lot of our children are not going to go back to school. That is a fact. And
okay. All right. So there's a totally different messaging system coming out from out of Pennsylvania Avenue. But I mean, so, and with the limited resources that the states have in Florida and Georgia and other states, there is a real and legitimate threat coming from Pennsylvania Avenue that if they don't go back to school, he's going to take back their federal funding, which will cripple them from even trying.
They changed the name of that section of the street to Black
Lives Matter Avenue.
Yes. But I mean, I think people are still familiarized with the fact that
we're going to speak in a very cultural method, respect the mayor, the Black female mayor of that city, and her decision to make sure that she recognized leading up to the White House that Black Lives Matter on Black Lives
Avenue.
Yeah. Yes. But from a traditional standpoint, Pennsylvania Avenue, but you're right. We need to go ahead and accept the new, and it is Black Lives Avenue. So coming from Black Lives Avenue, there's a totally different messaging system that says he's going to force states to go back to school. And he's forcing the businesses, I'm looking at it now on the news, he is forcing the states to reopen. Even though there is a record number of deaths in America, not cases, record numbers of deaths.
And if they're not willing to reopen their school systems, I believe that he's saying that they won't receive funding.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He's saying he's going to take back the federal funding, which will cripple them from miseducating us anyway. They're already miseducating us. Now they will be able to do that right.
It sounds like a book. Obviously, you can tune in tonight and watch Health IQ at 6 p.m. We definitely will be talking about mental health during this Minority Mental Health Month, and obviously caretaking tonight is a big issue. How do you caretake during COVID for your family and friends and loved ones? So tune in tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern for Health IQ, sponsored by ARP. So how about positive thoughts, given the fact that we've had a whole wonderful show and a whole great, got to see a trumpet. I love to see the trumpet. It's one of my favorite instruments. Why don't you start us off, Keisha Green, with your positive thought of the day?
All right, my positive thought of the day here on Rolling Out is that although your children's dreams and their desires may not be traditional, their style of learning may also not be traditional. Don't be afraid to hear your children out, to listen to their dreams and see what they desire to be in the future. And make sure you're supporting them, because the future looks different. And as times change, we have to change the way that we're thinking and the way that we impact our children to be able to align with the things that they desire inside, so that they can operate at their greatest and they can live out their purpose. I'm going to pass it over to Romeo.
Man, Keisha, I love you. My positive thought of the day is this: life is short. Live large. Period. King James.
Yes, I want to go ahead and continue to give out and bless the people of Portland, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. with love. Without much media attention, you guys, mostly white, have gotten out there and have basically protested on behalf of Black people and all people of color in America, and basically just for all of us, for a more just and equitable society. So I bless the people in Washington, D.C., Portland, and Seattle with love. Please keep it up, and I bless you with love. I pass the ball to Cassidy.
My positive thought of the day is anything is possible if you put your mind to it. All the resources are out there and available to you. The internet is an amazing place. I'm going to pass it to Munson.
Thanks, Cass. Great job, Cassidy, Keisha, Romeo International, on a wonderful show. King James, you put it down on them and hammered them in the head so they definitely can understand. And if they don't know King James, you definitely let them know. So I appreciate you sharing and giving us insight into all those altercations and entanglements that you now have made us aware of, and Cass explained them so that we could understand the relationships between designers and hip hoppers. I just think it's such a wonderful show, and the young man was insightful. So it was a really moving show that we had here on Rolling Out AM, the Wake Up Call. Hopefully you all out there will share our show, then put in the #1, because we're the #1 morning show here for all of you. So thanks. My positive thought of the day: step into your own shoes. This is your own journey. Walk and talk would make us proud, because many people need to see you as an inspiration, given in this moment we are all away from each other. So show love and step into the big shoes of love and obviously God, because we all need a little bit of God and a little bit of love as we step and walk through this day. I'm Munson Steve. This is Keisha Green. This is Cass in the City, Romeo International, and the first King James. Salute to you all. We love you. You do not have to be in the streets, but you do have to be in the struggle. I'm Munson Steve. This is Rolling Out AM, the wake up call.
Hey, Iris Baker, Tiffany Good.
Rollingout.com.
Shout outs. We got shout outs going. Got the shout outs. Shout outs going. Got the shout outs. Got the shout outs going. Got the shout outs. Shout outs going. Got the shout outs. Got the shout outs going. Got the rolling out. King James, Cass in the City, Keisha Green. Shout outs.
Everybody.
Shout outs.
Y'all doing?
We love you, man. Take care.